Police are releasing more details as the family of Brandon Sweeney now has answers tonight.
This is an ABC Big 2 News special report.
I will never forgive him for the pain he has caused me and my family.
The Odessa Police Department held a news conference saying officers have issued an arrest warrant in connection with the 2019 murder of 42-year-old Brandon Sweeney.
Yeah, just a short statement regards to a code case.
Since November 21st of 2019, Sweeney's family has been awaiting answers about why their beloved son, husband, and father was killed.
I have no idea. It's funny, like, people ask me all the time, like, oh, what do you think happened? Like, I literally have no idea. Like, it was just completely out of nowhere.
Investigators say Sweeney parked outside his home upon returning home from baseball practice with his son, Kai.
His son actually heard the shot and got out and ran down the street looking for help.
Sweeney was just inches from his front door when a man stepped out from the shadows and fired at him. Sweeney's son, Kai, just on the other side of the car when his father was shot.
I will never forget the night that happened. I saw everything that happened, saw my dad there, everything. I will never forgive. I will never forgive him.
I just remember I was right there by the window, and I had just put the baby down, and so I was cutting like sweet potatoes or something, like I was just getting dinner ready, and I heard it, and I heard Brandon, and I couldn't even remember the number to 911. It was so stupid, but I just called 911, and they wouldn't let me go outside. They told me to stay inside, and then finally, when I saw like the police and stuff, then I went outside, and they wouldn't let me go around the corner, and they pushed me to like the neighbor's house across the street.
Luckily, the little boy was able to run away to safety. For more than 4 years, the Odessa Police Department's detectives have poured over leads and searched for answers with little progress.
For years, OPD had only this single image of the perpetrator to go on. The affidavit states that the video evidence showed that the shooter waited for approximately 1 hour before Sweeney arrived.
We have been haunted by the surveillance footage that shows the killer's face. However, clear answers to his identity seem to have never come.
When something like that happens, it's beyond belief. You just, to this day, I can't think of I think of him being just maybe gone.
It became a cold case, and just didn't think it was going to be solved.
Police identified 55-year-old Roman Aguilar Alvarado Jr. as the shooter in this case.
To Brandon's family, I really do have to extend my deepest condolences for losing him in the way that you did. I know that the past 4 years must have been filled with frustrations and wonder. It is my hope that this arrest can help you into the next phase of healing.
OPD says this is thanks to advancements in technology, and this isn't the first time he's been on police radar.
He was a suspect for some time that we were able to obtain new evidence using some new forensic techniques.
There was an officer, I don't know who it was, he always promised me that it would be solved. And when it became a cold case, I gave up. I gave up a long time ago. I won't lie, I gave up. But now it's finally solved. And I figured when it finally got solved, I broke it down. And I thought that officer was lying. I thought it would never be solved.
Court records show back on October 29th of the next year, 2020, investigators interviewed a woman about Sweeney's murder. At that time, she stated that she and Alvarado, her common-law husband, were acquainted with Sweeney. The woman then admitted that she and Sweeney had been involved in a romantic affair while Alvarado was in jail.
For reasons that only can be described as petty jealousy, Brandon Sweeney was killed in cold blood.
On November 4th of 2020, investigators sat down with Alvarado and questioned him about the alleged affair.
Can you say if the two know each other?
If the two know each other? I think we can say they did.
Alvarado admitted that he'd gone to Sweeney's home to confront him about the affair in March of 2019. Alvarado said he didn't make contact with Sweeney at that time, and then said he never went to Sweeney's home again. When asked about the image captured on surveillance video, he reportedly said, quote, "It does look like me."
It is all unforgivable to me. And I'm glad that, and I hope justice will be served. I hope he will do a bunch of time. And I hope he spends the rest of his time in that federal prison for what he has done to me and my family.
In 2023, OPD obtained electronic evidence that Alvarado was in 5 meters of Sweeney's home within that time frame that the shooter was observed waiting outside of the home. Electronic evidence showed that no other person was in that area during the same time frame.
What Brandon did not know was that a man was waiting in the shadows next to his house. When Brandon approached, the man committed the cold and cowardly act of shooting Brandon in front of his son.
On March 19th of this year, OPD investigators traveled to the Federal Correction Institution in Cumberland, Maryland, where Alvarado's incarcerated on unrelated drug charges. At that time, investigators say Alvarado's statements about the alleged affair conflicted with the statements made in 2020. Alvarado again denied killing Sweeney, but could not provide any reasonable explanation as to why he was within 5 meters of the crime scene at the time the shooter was lying in wait.
I'm glad that it's finally all over, but I will never forgive the guy that did this because for me it's an unforgivable sin.
Alvarado will now be charged with murder in connection with this case.
There is a warrant for his arrest, and he is incarcerated in a federal facility. So that warrant will be executed at that federal facility. He is not on the street. He is not running loose. He is in custody at this point, and he will remain in custody.
It broke my heart. I've been holding in my feelings in for so long about this because I thought it'd never be solved. It's just a cold case, and I hate for every other family that has to go through it. It really breaks people's hearts that people are capable of doing things like this to other people.
To the families of the victims of other unsolved murders, I know that you feel that nothing's being done in your case, but I hope that today's news shows that the Odessa Police Department never gives up on these cases.
This is a story we followed very closely, and while it's a tragic outcome, we are so grateful that Brandon's family finally has some answers. You can read more right now on yourbasin.com.